Barker, and I teach math and science in 4th grade here at Panhandle Elementary. And we use digital learning quite a bit in my classroom. The way a day usually looks is I introduce the lesson in my room, and we get practice in the classroom, and then we go straight into our computer lab, and we normally do get on Study Island, do the lesson on Study Island on that same topic, and then get practice on Study Island. Then after they're finished with Study Island, and sometimes you have those ones that finish real quick and sometimes it takes a while, but what I like to do after they get on Study Island is have them get on Odyssey. And on Odyssey, through NWEA, they have their own learning path that's created just for them so that they're right where they need to be. We're pretty fortunate in our district that most of our students are high performing. So that while that is a very good thing, it's also sometimes not a great thing as far as a teacher, because we have to get those high kids even higher. So while it's easy for me to pull those struggling students and work on several skills, it's not always easy to go higher. So what Odyssey does for us, it hits those GT kids and it hits those high-performing learners right where they need to be. It also will go down to those struggling learners and hit their level also. What I like about NWEA, having each learning path for the kids, for one, we can get reports from NWEA that are grouped specific to task and skill, and those kids are already grouped together, so I can pull, all I have to do is look at that report and pull that group for tutoring. Another thing that is great as far as Odyssey goes is I feel that it front loads a lot of learning. I don't know how many times I've introduced something such as when we're changing fractions from mixed numbers to improper fractions and the other way around, I'll say, have you ever seen this? And they'll say, yes, we've seen this on Odyssey. So it's not a new, not a brand new skill. Not that they completely understand it. They've heard the terms, and so it's a little bit familiar to them. So that's how I use digital learning in my classroom.
All right, thank you. And this is 4th grade. 4th grade, it's math and science, right?
Yes.
We appreciate it, Ms. Barker.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us your name, what you teach?
I'm Terry Lackey, and I teach 2nd grade.
All right. So since we had an NWEA Map and some of our digital platforms, how has that helped you with your classroom instruction?
Well, I use it mainly with my math, and I love it. Once we take our map test, and we have a learning path tailored for each student. That's through the Odyssey program. And so I take those skills and really teach to the highest groups. We have mini lessons in here with whatever skills are being taught through the Odyssey program, and that way the kids that are even the lowest in the grade hear the terms and see the process, and then we practice that throughout the year. So that the end result is that my kids are on 3rd and 4th grade level pretty much across the board, and then some of the kids are even into some 5th grade concepts. And they're introduced to that because of Odyssey, and that goes all the way back to the NWEA testing that was done.
So I know we have high kids and low kids, and you have your TEKs required by the state. So how does that help with all of that, with your scope and sequence of your TEKs?
When we address our TEKs, we do that with our curriculum, and then with our computer program, our digital learning solidifies that and then takes it above that. So we're getting to do a lot of logical thinking, a lot of reasoning, and we're working on higher level Bloom's taxonomy. Through that, the TEKs hit us, that's our foundation, and then we're able to just knock that up and hit it at a higher level. So we have good thinkers when we're through with all this.
You bet, you bet. So how do you say MAP has changed how that you looked with getting them a RIP folder and getting their own path? How's that changed the way you've looked at digital
We can personally challenge each child because we know what they know. We know their personal level that we begin with. That's our foundation per child. And then we can tailor that. So I can take a child that's struggling on a basic concept, a basic TEK in here. I can design a folder for them, and then they can go back and we can use it actually through tutoring, and we can nail that down. But it's not pencil and paper, and so we can do it in a fun way. And and they like that. Then we realize that they're learning and that they've mastered that skill, and it comes quickly. And then they're very proud, and then we can jump that on up. So it doesn't take long to raise the kids up to where they're on grade level and then surpassing that quickly.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm Allison.
Wait a minute. Yeah. There you go. Go.
I'm Allison Mitchell, and I'm a first grade teacher at Panhandle Elementary, and I just want to share with you how I use map testing through NWEA and apply it into the primary classroom. We currently use 2 programs, Compass Learning Odyssey and Study Island, and I typically use it during guided reading time. I have 5 to 6 kids on a computer for anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm working with a group on guided reading, and then they're doing other centers. We also use it whole group in the computer lab setting. This has been the best thing for me because I can work smarter and not harder. It front loads their learning. I can gauge where they're at the beginning of the year, where they're going, and the whole goal is to get them a full year's growth. So this has been something that gives individualized instruction, where instead of having to try to meet the needs of every individual child, it does that for me. So it is definitely saving me hours and hours of time. It reaches not only the gifted learner, your regular average learner, but it also remediates and tailors to the intervention model for kids. So I would say that this has been the best thing that Panhandle has been able to implement across the board. I'm very thankful for it, and it definitely is benefiting me as a teacher and our kids in the classroom.
Awesome.